Yes, guys, well, look, we've got Olympian. He's set for his debut this year. Before that, he's got a small matter of business in Germany. It is Yemi. Yemi, it's been a minute since I've got you on here.
Been a minute. Been since my mum's pro card, December. Minute.
Yes, yes. Your mum's pro card. What a moment that was.
Yeah, big time, big time. So I guess every time we have a big moment, Suki gives me a call. He says, "Listen, Jens, we gonna need some clips."
Every week I need clips. Now, look, no, let's start because we got. I mean, Jesus, mate, you're dropping updates every day, mate, and you're getting better and better. I mean, I'll be honest. At one point, a few weeks back, I'm like, oh, he looks the same as the week before, and then all of a sudden, literally every day, I'm like, fuck's sake, mate, there's new lines there. It's wastage just got even more in, and now it's like now I keep seeing on the comments, people are popping off like, oh shit, yes, now we're seeing it. I mean, I guess am I in the right space to say that?
No, no, you're 100% right. So with my body, the way it kind of works is like it kind of does it. Have you ever read a book? No, have you ever read a book by Tony Robinson called Money Master the Game?
I've heard of it, but never read it. Go on.
Right, there's a part in the book where he says you gotta you gotta work and then you work and then you work and then you get paid. And then you work and then you work and then you work and then you get paid and then you get paid and then you work and then you work and then you get paid and then you get paid. Then you get paid and then you get paid and then you get paid. And basically the point of what he's saying is it's a snowball effect, right? When it comes down to making money, you're gonna work for a whole bunch of it. You ain't gonna get a damn thing. Yeah. And that's kind of what happens with my physique. So, when I'm in my off season, it's working, and you don't see a crazy look. Like it's not like I'm gonna drop an off-season update. You're gonna be like, "Holy crap!" There's times where you see something, you're like, "Yeah, that is definitely an improvement," but you're never gonna see something. You're like, "Yo, this is like the craziest off-season update I've ever seen in my life." It just doesn't happen for my physique. I need to be really lean, and that trickles all the way up until a certain point. And even like you can ask Ross, he will say the same thing. There's a certain point that he kind of like, pushes me until which is like just after he starts panicking if I'm actually going to be in shape in time. And then all of a sudden, I wake up and then it's just like, yeah, that's the look we were looking for. And that's kind of what happens here. So it's like a snowball. So now you're going to see it where day after day, I look different. Even if I didn't post any of my updates today. I think I posted a front shot. You can see
Your story, yeah, yeah.
my story, and you can see there's a big difference in my glutes from this morning to yesterday, even with food, and I get a lot better with food in. So the fact that I'm sharper without food in this morning just shows you that I'm already sharper than I was yesterday. But again, it's just one of those things where it snowballs for myself, where you just got to kind of let it kind of happen. And that's why I kind of like showing the process, because I kind of like to let people see it and see how my body works. Because I know a lot of people, they'll be in my situation, and instead of showing any updates, they'll kind of wait until they get to the point I'm at now, where everything looks crazy, and then they'll start updating. But I'm just like, I'm gonna show you guys the process. Like I want you guys to be within my process. I want you guys to see what I see, feel what I feel. I want you guys to feel like, I know a lot of people that don't really follow bodybuilding. Maybe they know me from before. I got into the gym. Obviously, I started training quite late, so I have quite a fair few friends that got in, like that knows me outside of bodybuilding, and they were like, "It feels like I'm kind of like a part of it, even though I don't really know what's going on." And that's what I kind of want to give. I want to give people an insight to my process, because everyone's process is different.
So let's look ahead for Germany because obviously when you announced Germany's show, I was like, yeah, it makes sense. Like it's been a while since we've seen Yemi on stage, and of course, it only makes sense going into Olympia debut. Maybe you want to dip your toes in, but of course, with that, and I think you would agree, also comes pressure because you are classified as an Olympian. So
Yeah,
you are so by that name, you are one of the favorites going into the show.
right.
What result do you feel you need to get to give you the momentum that you feel you deserve going into Olympia 2025?
The result to give me what think I deserve is okay. That is a loaded question because there's two answers.
Go ahead. Give it
What
to
do
me.
I think I deserve is not where I'm at. That's the truth. And the reason why I say that is because I don't get what I think I deserve, meaning that by that accord, regardless of how I see it, that means I'm not where I'm at, where I think I should be at. So the result that I think that I need to get to give me the position that I want to be at is winning, obviously. With that being said, the best position to get is anything within that top three. Because I won't be the only Olympian there. You know, I know Valentin's doing the show. Maybe it's not been announced, but I know Valentin's doing the show. And I know there's other Olympians there. These are all good guys. Are they guys that I think I can't beat? Hell fucking no. I know I can beat these guys. You know, I don't think these guys have my structure and they don't have certain things that I have. But with that being said, that doesn't mean that these guys can't beat me. So, you know, in that top three is, you know, a happy medium. But what my goal is a win. You know, I don't go into anything other than winning.
But let's also talk. We talk about the Olympians there as well. Let's get fucking straight into it. Because I did a post this morning, and we know we've got two other UK boys going there as well, who are both currently chasing what you have at the moment, and
Is
that's
there?
Olympia qualification, where you
Is
join
there?
Niall Darwen at Olympia 2025.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to ask, buddy. Like, in fact, I'm gonna go back to this. I'm gonna go back to a previous story you did a while back, and you did a story around the wording of something about like yeah, people hating on you, not people wanting you to lose. Like, I need to add, it was something around it, something like about people be backstage looking at you like you know it was so it was some
Context
hateful
of that.
terminology.
Hmm.
I wish I screenshot it, but
Yeah, I wish you screenshotted it as well, because I actually don't know what story you're referring to. I make so many stories.
I know, mate, I fucking know you do. I try and keep
With,
up. I
with that
try.
being said, I see the thing is I don't really know what you're referring to, but maybe you're mistaken. Are you talking of is this how the beef with me and Brandon kicked off, or is this completely
No,
separate?
it wasn't specifically you and Brandon. It just felt there was a story which felt like there was there was a divide that you put between you and maybe some other competitors who want to see you lose or gonna be shocked
You
for
know what?
you
I
when you
think
come
the
in.
I think the reality of it is I'm not 100% sure, but I think here's the reality, right? This is just from my perspective, okay? Um, you know, I don't think necessarily that there's competitors in classic that dislike me, but I do feel an animosity from certain pros. And I felt some of that animosity from even when I first walked into my first NPC show without naming names. You know, there were certain guys that I looked up to and I see them backstage. And instead of having no reaction to me or a positive reaction to me, mind you, I'll be watching their vlogs. So you can put the pieces together if you want, but they vlog. And I'll say they have pretty popular vlogs. And you know, they gave me a very cold response when I first walked in. And this is before I was known, so it's not like I was talking mad shit. Not that. No, I don't even really feel like I do, but I can understand how people can get that understanding from me. But this is before any of that. You know, it was just like, you know, giving me evils. And then I remember, this is really gonna bait up, but I'll just tell the story how it is. Then I remember, so my first NPC show, then I did the Arnold Classic 2021 for my first pro
Yeah.
qualifier. And this guy did the pro qualifier in open. And I remember
Okay.
seeing him walk past me at the Arnold's. I was like, yo, bro, like you look, after I already had a pretty cold reply from him, I was like, yo, bro, like you look great at the Arnold's, well done. He looked at me up and down like that and went, "Ugh," and then walked off. I was thinking, rah, bruv, I don't even know you. You don't know me. Like, what the hell is that about? And I just, all right, whatever. And then the cameraman came up to me and was like, yo, you look great. And I was like, thank you. And then I just left it like that. You know, I don't really have any animosity or whatever. But, you know, I do feel that kind of energy from certain people just because, you know, I'll be real. Like, when you are from where I'm from, you know, like, the reality is you don't have no hope. Like, you don't have no, you're not looking up to your boy and, or, you know, your OGs and being like, yo, there's a there's a way out. Unless you're looking at music or something like that, right? Like, I remember getting the bus and Stormzy was on my bus or whatever, So I've seen people succeed in music, but other than that, really, you don't see that. Like from where I'm from, like, tell me anyone from South London that you know of that's massive in fucking like any, you know, massive field. It's very finite, and I can kind of see how that happens now. Part of it is, you know, not having the ambition and understanding. But on top of that, a lot of the time you come into certain rooms and people kind of feel that off of you, and they're like, "We don't really want you in this area. We don't want you in this space." Even like I train in the gym with James Hollingshead, for example, right? Like James went to Kings, and like no disrespect to him, he doesn't have to, but like even up to now, like I still chat to him in person and stuff. But even up to now, like he doesn't even follow me on social media, like. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I get no support from even someone like James that literally watched me go. He literally watched me prep for my pro card. And the whole time we didn't chat, but I spoke to him backstage. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, why is there even animosity for me and you? Like, we're doing the same thing.
Do you think that comes from, and this is not a negative because you are authentically you, you are real, you have zero filter. Is that because you can sometimes what you say can be divisive because you say things how you see it? And that, like I said, that's being authentic. You're not sugarcoating something. This goes back to like the story you mentioned. You did a story the other day about don't come talk to me when I'm in a gym. I'm trying to focus. You say it how it is without sugarcoating. Do you think is that element that maybe you feel rubs people the wrong way because that's just you?
I mean, it's very possible. There's no need to be emotional about it, but there's definitely that. People are gonna feel away. And to act like no one's gonna feel away is just unbelievably unrealistic of myself, is it not? um Everyone's gonna have their opinions and their thoughts or whatever. So yeah, like it's gonna rub people away. But back then I was still a nobody. I was a nobody till I got my pro card. I was a nobody on social media. I wasn't even too active. That's the reality.
Yep.
I was on 3,000 followers. I had to make a new account, and then I got a new account. By the end of my pro card, I was on 3K again. By the end of my pro card weekend, and then like by like January, I was on like 2.25K.
So going into Germany then, look away from Olympians because obviously I can't touch about my socials. We know we've got two of the UK guys in Craig and Brandon who are also coming on. You've already talked about the competition is very much with the Olympians. You want to get that win, but you also know top three is still a very strong result. Do you see competition with Craig and Brandon?
I mean, from what I've heard, Craig's already dropped out. So assuming that he's still in the show,
Has he dropped out? Because I just saw his story that was all confirmed.
I mean, the man he started prep, or he announced he's at prep for that show 6 weeks out, right? And I spoke to him, and he told me he was 127 kilos, and he had to get to 112 kilos. Now, me personally, if I had like 15 kilos to lose, you would see me posting myself doing my cardio stuff like that. Whereas I've just seen him like going out for dinner and shit. Now, obviously, he could have been going out for dinner and not eating, but like
Hmm.
I'm locked in doing that. I don't know what you're gonna have to do to get that kind of weight down, but you know what I mean. And like getting to the weight cap ain't enough sometimes. You have to get into shape and then peak. So I don't know. I don't know, and like I don't see no posts, I don't see no updates, and I've heard that he's even the last post I seen from him, he don't look like someone on prep personally.
What about Brandon? Because I mean, we
Uh
know obviously Brandon's coming back
yeah,
injury
yeah. So
free.
with Brandon, I don't really see him as a threat. I'll be real, man. That guy, he's been a pro for 3 years. He's done zero off season in that 3 years. I think he took 1 year off, came back, got injured, came away, maybe rebuilt the muscle that he gained, that he lost on his injury. But I didn't really see him pushing himself in the off season like how you're menu. You know what I mean? So from my opinion, from what I've seen, this is the pro league. Everyone's working. Everyone's working. The worst guy that I've seen, that guy that comes last place. If I follow him on social media, I know he's working. He's putting his work in the off season. There's guys that I've seen outside the top 10 of the Europa, And as soon as they come off the stage at Europa, they've been grinding. And some of these guys are still going to come back next year or this year and struggle. So if the guys at the bottom of the league are putting in work and grinding and not getting good results, then I just find it very difficult to assume that this guy is going to be able to do anything, of substance. And then I'm sure he's just going to use that as his pro debut as an excuse.
I mean, I'm hoping we do see Craig and Brandon there at their very best because once
I hope
again,
so too.
that's going to bring so many more eyeballs on the UK side
One
to
million
finally
percent.
see three guys, you, Craig and Brandon, on stage at your very
And
best.
the reality is, like, if they're not their very best, it's not a satisfying situation, regardless of what happens, right? If you just say like Brandon beats me and he was not at his best, it's not satisfying for me. Probably won't be satisfying for him because he's gonna be like, well, I could have placed higher. Um, same with Craig. And then if I beat them and they're not their best, then again, exactly the same. It's like, yeah, I mean, I beat them, but like it weren't their best. They could have been better. So you always want to see everyone at their best, regardless of the win, regardless of the loss. You don't really want to be in a lineup with someone and they're off for whatever reason. You don't want to see people injured. You don't want to see none of that. Me personally, I'd rather lose graciously and win graciously. I might talk a little bit of whatever, but that's just my personal opinion. I don't think that anyone is unbeatable. I don't think I'm unbeatable. But that same mindset goes for everyone else, right? Like, just because I don't think I'm unbeatable, but I also don't think, Mike Sommerfeld's unbeatable. I don't think Ramon's unbeatable. I don't think any of these guys are unbeatable, and that is what drives me to continue getting better.
What about bringing your best? Let's look at Olympia because this is what it's all about. This is what it's all about. It's about
Yeah, I
Olympia
mean,
2025.
yeah,
Yemi, his debut. We saw what Niall did on his debut last year.
yeah.
And if you look, we're seeing changes every single day, and we're still weeks out until Olympia. So you and everyone else can only imagine the improvements you're going to make on a daily basis as we get
And I
close to
get
Las
better after I
Vegas.
peak as well.
That as well. You bring your best Olympia. What's the goal? Where you think you could land?
Where do I think I can land?
Yeah.
Oh, time for delusional Yemi to come out again. I think I can land in the top five. I don't think many guys have my structure, my balance, my shape. That's the reality. But I'll be happy with a top 8 placing, top 10 placing.
Let's go back to top five because that is look. Even I'm like take it back there as well because it's your debut.
Every single person is. That's why you said it. Right?
Look, and this is not a I mean, this is definitely
No, no.
not a
Listen.
negative
Every
shot.
time I've had this conversation with people, they look at me like, if anything,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
had the best reaction.
I know it's look. Let's say how it is. Yeah, people will be having that. Okay, top five. Okay, well, come on, put some sauce on it. Explain to me why that is a realistic goal because you believe it.
Here's the reason why I think it's
Go
realistic.
for it.
Let's break it absolutely down. Okay, let's look at someone like, I would say, Terence, right? Terence and myself, at least in the past, I'm not really sure where his weight is now. We are in the same situation, right? Now, I would say, if I was to be completely honest, back density is a lot bigger on Terence. But again, Terence ain't winning on back density. He's winning on classic structure, classic flow, and the way he presents himself. Obviously, his posing, yes, but you're not getting judged on the routines. But there is a certain je ne sais quoi that he holds himself in the lineups, and I believe that I hold myself in some of the most highest level of that. When you see me on stage, I know for a fact, no matter where I'm standing in that lineup, I hold presence. Okay, I was very off. I did a 7 week. I was on 7 weeks into my diet when I went to the Empro, and when I came out, I hit a front lat spread, and I heard the entire crowd going crazy. None of these people knew who I was. From that show alone, I already know I got a bigger Spanish audience. I go to Spain, they show me love, right? And that is an off. That's not even an off Yemi. That is an undieted Yemi. Remember, I get better when I hit a certain point. I hadn't even hit that certain point yet, and I had gone to that stage. So if I can do that, that just shows that there's a certain level of, energy, a certain level of je ne sais quoi that I have that everybody else can gravitate towards. I'm not going to say no one else has it because that's just a lie. That's why these guys are the best in the world. But I know for a fact that what I do have is something that people are going to gravitate towards, going to pull your eyeball to it. And I do think that stuff like that is going to carry, especially when you're in a lineup and you're standing there and now because I think, okay, like for example, right, you're at a pro show. Normally at a pro show, obviously this is not a rule of thumb, but let's be real. When you go to most pro shows, you see one, two, maybe three guys standing out, and everyone else kind of gets sorted accordingly, right? Whereas when you're at the Olympia, from what I've experienced, it tends to be a game of matchups. It changes a bit because everyone is at such a high level. And I think that because everyone's at such a high level, I think that, again, that je ne sais quoi, the energy that I have, the shape, the structure, all these things are going to stand out in my favor. That, again, if someone like Terence, that was completely underweight, was being able to stand out and get top 2, there is not a single chance in hell that I believe that it's impossible for me to not be able to at least stand out and get into that top 5. It's just that simple. Is it delusional? Fuck yeah. But that's the reason why I'm here. I didn't get here. I didn't get here from being reasonable. That's the truth. I was going for my pro card. People told me, no, you ain't going pro this year. And then I went pro. Even Ross at the time didn't know me that well. He didn't even think I was going to win the pro card until like 2 days out. Do you know what I mean? I told bro, I had a FaceTime or Zoom call with Ross, just like how we're having one now. And I looked at him right in the eye and I said, listen, we're going to go win the Arnolds. He was thinking this. He probably came off the phone call, was like, this man is crazy. But then we did that shit.
If you were in my top 5, then who are the other 4 that would join you?
The honest truth is, don't care.
Raymond Dina be in my top 5 with you? Don't care.
I don't care. The only thing I care about is where I place. I'll be real. Like, would he be probably, if you look at it historically, yeah. But like, again, that's not my focus. I'm not focused on who's getting 4th, 3rd, 5th, 2nd. Where am I going to place? I'm focused on being my best. And where do I think my best can carry me to? Within the best in the world. Simple.
I mean, look, that's the exact mindset that I imagine any champion has always had go into Olympia. You've got to have your lofty goals and you put top 5. And then you've also said that you would also at the same time be happy if he did take top 10. Do you feel that as well, Olympia, that because there's been like 70 guys on there, it's important to make sure that you don't get missed at the very start when they bring in everybody else. So you got to make
Can't
sure
miss
that
me,
you are
baby.
seen.
Can't miss me, baby. That's a possibility that I don't even think is a possibility. That's a probability that's not a possibility. You know what I mean? That is impossible in my head. Getting missed out, no, I stand out.
You ain't get missed. Everyone's going to see you there.
Every single person in the world is going to see me there for a fact.
Well, one guy who said, well, I've had 2 guys. One, Jeremy Buendia, said that you're going to be a threat. Michael Daboul, when I interviewed him a while back, also stated that he feels that you can be very dangerous. I mean, you're getting these people like these guys also stating the fact that they feel that you can be dangerous, you can be a threat for the top guys.
Exactly. And if they can see that, again, Jeremy Buendia, 4-time Mr. Olympia champ, one, if not the best Mr. Olympia in men's physique that we've ever seen. He believes that from seeing me, bro. Like, don't think that this is like something where me and Jeremy got cool and then he started gassing me up. This is something that he believed before he even met me. Like, I remember when I first spoke to him, he didn't realize who I was. So I've seen him the day before, right? We're at it's at a VQ shoot. I've come in to shoot for the it's not Obsidian, it's the one that it's the one with the Greek gods on it. Either way, come in to shoot this. Come in to shoot. Finished off in the muscle works. Came out, spoke to him for a real quick second. Just told him how to get in the gym, and I had to go dip. Next day, I've come up to him. I was like, "Yo, bro, like you are an inspiration to me. I'm gonna be real." And then he was like, "Oh yeah, what's your Instagram?" And I pulled up my Instagram. He saw my Instagram handle and was like, he goes straight to Sanjay. He's like, "Oh, bro, like I know. Oh, I've seen this guy. He's got like the craziest structure." Before he's even gone to my page, and then he went straight to a video that went pretty viral from my prep last year. And then he goes, "Look at this video," and clicks on it, and it shows Sanjay. So he's seen my page prior to even meeting me. It's not like he went through my page and was like, "Oh yeah, this guy looks crazy." He already knew who I was, and that even shows you that I don't get missed. If Mr. Olympia, 4 times champ, Jeremy Bendia has seen me and thought, nah, there's something there. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm pulling shit out of my ass here. You know what I mean? And again, Michael Daboul. Me and Michael Daboul, you already know we get into it. And even still, he can't deny that.
Let me drop some names there because we say you don't care who's going to be top five, but let me just throw out some names. I'm just keen
Throw
to
some
hear
names. Get it.
where you feel you have the beating of these guys because right now I'm in a
Yeah,
conversation about you in the top five. So we're not looking at top eight, top 10. We're looking at top
yeah,
five.
yeah, yeah. We're trying to make.
So
We're trying to. You're trying to put logic to my thought process. Let's go.
exactly. So okay, let's start from the top.
Okay.
You are standing next to Mike Sommerfeld. Where do
Yeah.
you have Mike Sommerfeld beat?
Height. That height is going to be a big difference. When shouts out to Mike. I love the guy. He got me to FIBO. He got me with BioWell Labs. I don't work with them
Oh,
anymore.
awesome.
Shouts
That's
out
good.
to BioWell. Shouts out to Mike. Great guy. It was very close to after the Arnolds when I seen him in person. It's the first time. And I just tower over him a slight bit because of that height difference. Is it going to be night and day? No. But it's going to be something that you're going to see it and you're going to go, okay, it's not as small as you think it is because of that height difference. And I'm wide. Mike is wide.
Yeah.
I'm wider than Mike.
What about Logan Franklin? We talk about heights now. Let me bring Logan Franklin in, second in the Arnolds.
Logan, he looks great. I don't think he beats me on structure, man. He ain't got the waist. He's got posing. He's got the height. I don't think me and his density is too far apart. I'll be real.
One of your VQ boys, Josema.
Jose, he's gonna get exposed in the waist. That's the truth. Even conversations I have with Jose, he says himself, listen, I'm not. He will say to me, "You're classic. You are classic." He says, if I get, a high placing, it's because of that separation, which is facts. That's where Jose really stands out. And Jose's separation stood out so much without the best structure. He was top 6. Now you're looking at somebody with the best structure. This is classic physique. This ain't bodybuilding. This ain't a conditioning competition. He's gonna be sharper than me. Fuck yeah. But I'm gonna be shapelier than him. I love Jose. Great guy. He's one of the nicest dudes I ever met in my life. But again, he's not structurally gifted like me.
I think I know what the answer is going to be to this one. Ramon Dino.
I think Ramon is very close to me in structure. He's good in structure. Waist isn't as small, but again, he's still structurally sound. I would say his waist was even when you saw him in Brazil against Nas, you can see his waist was a tiny bit bigger than Nas's, and obviously my waist is even smaller than Nas's. So, ask Nas, he would even say, "I thought my waist was small until I met this nigga." Word for word.
Well, talk about Niall then. Let's talk about Niall. If you and Niall next to each other, that'd be fun
I
to
mean,
watch.
it's going to be fun to watch. Yeah, again, I don't want to slag off Nas or anything like that.
No, of course not.
That is my twin. I don't
Yeah.
want to make it out like I think I'm better. No, 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 no.
No beef here, no, nothing like
Ain't no
that.
beef. Ain't none of that. It's none of that. But again, the thing about Nas is now I'm gonna have to put this with a fucking asterisk. But Nas has always been bigger than me. Always. Now, at the Arnold Classic, I beat him whilst having less size than him and the craziest peak week prior to getting into that. Well, yeah, let's just call it a peak week, getting into that show for the pro show. Now, was Nas 100%? No, he fucking wasn't. And if I was to act like he was 100% Nas, after going, he wasn't as good as he got his pro card. So if I was to act like that was the same pro card Nas as at the Arnold's, I would be lying to myself and I would be lying to you. With that being said, I still beat him there. And I was not 100% naive. My glutes were a little bit softer than they could have been purely because of what we had done to get to make up for the size discrepancy because I was far. If I'm behind my weight cap then I was far behind my weight cap whilst he was near the top of it. Again, it's just the truth. You know what I mean? Again, it's not, doesn't mean fuck all. Doesn't mean fuck all. He's made, much more progress from the Arnolds till now. So it's it doesn't matter. But at the same time, so have I. It's just that the difference between my progress and Nas progress is one, It's a, it can be seen as a little bit more obvious, and two, it's most definitely seen as um you've seen more success. But here's the reality: my physique comes to life on stage. Like I've got some check-ins. If I show you just a check-in, if I showed you my check-in from the British and I showed you a picture from the British, you'd be like, that ain't the same. That isn't the same day. My physique pops. A lot of these guys, they come into them, they go away when they're on stage. Me, I come out even more so. You know, that's one thing I know that I can bring to the stage every single time. If you see me before stage, you see me on stage, two different looks.
Last one, Dubai Pro winner, Michael Daboul.
Structure is far better again. Posing is far better again. So again, he's still a great bodybuilder. You know, to act like he's not a great bodybuilder would just be absolute
Up to
cap.
Olympian,
This
yeah.
guy's been at the Olympia, top 8, top 7, consistently there in the mix, no matter what. Winning Dubai twice. Just not sit here and try and act like any of these guys are nothing to play with. Like, let's be completely honest now. Like, you know, I do not disrespect a single person here. Like, obviously, you know, I might have my personal feelings or whatever, you know, with these guys. You know, some of these guys I really respect or really like and talk to all the time. And some of these guys I don't like, you know, one of these guys. But with that being said, like, I'm still going to be objective and say, yeah, they've done some good shit in their career. And, you know, I think when all this is said and done, you know, every single person that you've mentioned today, you know, they're going to be put down in the history books. That's the reality. You know, we are making history in Classic right now. And undoubtedly, you know, I can't say that I'm going to make history for a fact. I want to, I dream to, you know, that's what I want to have a legacy, you know, but I know for a fact that what these guys have done already is legacy shit.
No, I mean, look, absolutely. Look, none of it is disrespectful to any of the competitors because they're all competing at the highest level. What you're talking about is what you believe you have the beating, and they'll have their thoughts as well about where they can beat you. That's it. That is natural. So there's no harm, there's no shame in sharing your personal thoughts because it's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
personal attack.
It's not a personal attack. I just want to make it clear because I feel like the last time I said that, it
That's why I'm saying it now.
it felt like I felt like Michael felt like I was personally attacking him where I wasn't. I was just more trying to say where I place myself.
Yeah.
With that being said, again, you know, I back myself. You know, I wouldn't be here if I didn't back myself. And I don't think you're ever gonna go up to Jordan at any point of his career, Kobe at any point of his career, Shaq at any point of his career, and be like, "Do you think you're gonna be the best in the world?" And they were like, "Maybe, I hope so, one day." Fuck no.
I want to finish off because this is where we might have a little disagreement now.
Oh,
I want to talk about there was a story you posted yesterday about obviously yeah, if you see me in the gym, you know, just leave me alone. And I listened to your
whilst
video.
I'm training.
I know while you're training exactly. So I listened to the video as well, and I was understanding your point. I was like, I understand your point. I did the person who commented saying, "Oh, it's like we stopped Lance Armstrong cycling." That's stupid because that's in competition. That's you know, that's like
It's
stopping
like
you on the
after a
Olympic
marathon
stage.
runner whilst they're running,
Yeah.
stop.
So
But it is the
the,
same though because if you're training, it's exactly the same
let,
as a marathon runner running.
let me. This is why
Anyway, let's just get to the point.
this is what I want to throw in there. So I was listening to the start of this, and you were talking about like where you're from. People where you're from don't have that kind of success. Music, yes, you've seen some, but other sectors they don't have it. So then that's where I want to bring this up. Is it got me thinking like, wait there, you are probably seen as you know the classic physique is more popular than ever before. There's more classic physique competitors, IP pros, have more than a million followers than any other division, which shows the popularity of it. They are
That's true.
seen
Are you
more,
sure? More than
yeah,
men's physique?
more than men's physique. If you count
Really?
as
I see
well,
some of
there
these
are
dudes that
actually
I've never seen before, and they got a million followers on men's physique. I don't know.
there's all if you can look at all the Brazilian classic physique guys, they've all got a million plus. There are more in
They
classic
got they
physique.
got they
It's not
definitely got
close,
more hype. They definitely got more hype.
but
Okay, so I know where you're going with this, and this is what I
I'm
was.
I'm going wait. Let me finish what I was going to say. It's because I'm what I was leading with this is people probably see and you say people came in and they don't know you, but they see your shape, they want to talk to you because they're like, look at that dude. I need advice. And I'm thinking, well, isn't that because they are at that point? That's their first introduction into bodybuilding. Then they've seen you, they're inspired.
Yep.
They don't know your story. I get it. They don't know
No,
your
no, no, no.
story,
You're right.
but you are inspiring the next lot. But then you just told me as well about the people who ignored you at the
So
shows. That's why I flipped it.
okay. So okay. This is. I think what I was saying was very much misconstrued. Like when I was talking about James, I mean, like, bro, James wouldn't talk to me. Like, even if I see him on the street, he wouldn't talk to me.
Okay.
At that time. Now we talk. So what I'm more referring to is when I'm in the gym and I'm training and I'm 4 weeks out from a
Yeah.
show, which is why I specifically put 4 weeks out, and I haven't said this at any point prior to this prep.
Yeah.
Um, it's now that I need to lock the fuck in. So now that I'm 4 weeks out, I need you to allow me to work. When I finish the show, I'm gonna be another 4 weeks out from the Olympia. And then when I'm done, I'll have energy and I chat. I chat to people all the fucking time. Anyone that I even said in my story, anyone that messages me, I reply any story,
You did say
anytime.
that. Yeah, yeah.
Um, if people like, bro, if you meet me at a meet and greet, I don't just sit there chat to people one time and then try to walk to the next person. I will sit there and have a conversation with every single person that is coming up to me to have these things. Anyone that's been at the Dave Trains, both of the Dave Trains meetups, the 10-year anniversary meetup, any of the Gymshark meetups that I've been at, they will attest to this as a fact. All I'm saying is because I'm 4 weeks out, whilst I'm in the gym making my training go, leave me be. And like I've had even other competitors that go to my gym, message me and reply my story and be like, no, I get it. Because even sometimes I was like, one guy, Tom, he gets coached by Evolution Coaching, and he was
Okay.
like, I see him sometimes doing his cardio whilst I'm training or whatever, and he's like, yeah, I've seen it, and like it's literally like you're in the middle of the gym training, and then like someone's come up to you being like, yo, bro, like for example, right, this is what sparked the whole thing up, right? I'll tell you the whole story. So I'm in a gym, I'm on my third movement, so pull day, push day, sorry. So I've done my row, gone onto my incline bench, fine, gone onto a machine bench, waited for someone to use it, gone onto the bench. Whilst I'm loading up the bar, someone looks at me and goes, raw. And then like they said something to me, I've had to take out my headphones. They're like, bro, what do you eat? And I said to him, I'm not gonna lie, bro, I'm on a diet, basically nothing. And then and he's like, no, 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 tell me what you eat. That is the legitimate answer to the question that you've given me, because right now I am on a diet and I am not eating very much. There is not more that I can give you. But the thing is, a lot of the time people feel like there's a secret, there's something more. And if you give them the answer, they're not happy with the answer that you're giving them. Now, the only other situation that I have to this situation, right, is that I stopped my workout because I'm an Olympian and a Classic Physique pro, and Classic Physique's popular, like you said. The only result that I have to this is go, yeah, so bro, basically my meal one is core and whey and berries, and then my meal two is chicken and peanut butter, and then my meal three. Come on, one, is he gonna take in that information? Fuck no. Is that information gonna be helpful for what he wants to know right now? Fuck no, because that's a diet. And two and three, ain't nobody got time for all of that right this moment. I'm 4 weeks out. You know that that's unreasonable. Okay, so then headphone back in, put the weight on, started training. As soon as I got into the machine, somebody's like, bro, are you using this tricep push down? Oh, I'm literally about to chest press. Okay, cool. Got my chest press, gone to do my dips. Then I went to do the lateral raise. As soon as I've walked away from the lateral raise, I'm gonna go upstairs because there's like upstairs bit where there's like a bicep curl machine. Someone's like, bro, what lens do you use? Brother, this is in the middle of 4 movements, had 3 interruptions about bullshit. Let's be real now. Do you think that's reasonable that I had to go and stop my workout for those 3 people?
These are three different people as well.
3 individual people. Do you think that's reasonable?
I think that those three people need to be.
Yes or no?
No. Okay.
Okay, okay,
No.
okay, 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 exactly.
And they need to.
now,
No, what I was going to say
now,
was they should be mindful to the situation. They should be
because even
mindful
if I
to.
wasn't on prep right now, let's be real, that should like these are bullshit conversations whilst I'm training.
yeah, it's those kind of little things like, you know, what you're eating, which is a very loaded question, like where do you want to start or
Yes.
a bar. Um, yeah, those kind of questions.
And there's another reason why you have to be very careful with this stuff, right? And this is one thing I've noticed. It goes back to my first point. This is almost like I've written an amazing script, and we've now, I'm fucking no. This is basically Inception. Goes back to my first script, first conversation. It's a snowball effect. You help one person, you help one person, you train, you help one person, you help one person, you help one person, you train, you help one person, you help one person, you help one person, you help one person, and you don't train. Now, all of a sudden, I was in my zone, and now I've had a fucking 20-minute conversation with 5 different people.
You need to find a new gym where people don't know you.
No, because even when you do
People
that,
still do it. Yeah, they'll look at you.
and
I
then,
know.
and then on top of that, where am I going to go in the UK that they don't know me? At least one person. Come on, man. Like me and Nas are basically the top most popular people. Bro, yeah. In 2023, I learned this the hard way. I went to Manchester and somebody took a picture of me because they knew who I was outside of a Five Guys. And then when I moved to Manchester, I remember walking around and guys would be like, "Oh, bro, you're Yemi." You know what? I love that. It's great. It's actually absolutely cool. And I've given all those single people time, taking pictures with them, all of that. But you have to realize, like, it's not like I can just turn it off. I thought I could. I thought bodybuilding was niche enough that you can turn it off, but it's not. And then even if it was niche enough where you could turn it off, people are still going to look at you because you look different. It's not like if you're a rapper that barely anyone knows, only if people know you are, they're going to stop you. You literally look like the thing you do. So and here's the thing. I remember, just to round off my point, I remember hearing that when Samson was training at factory gym, he would just turn to people. If they come up to him and talk to him, he would just turn around and say, "Fuck off, I'm trading." And I remember hearing that for the first time. And I was like, bro, that's fucked up, man. I mean, it makes me not change a single opinion of me on Samson, but I think that's fucked up. Like, I get it. When I'm up there, I'm going to give these people my time. And then you get there. And then you realize it's just like you said, even as much as I want to say there's no pressure, I can do whatever, let's be real. One bad result can change your life until you get a good result, right? But even more so, one good result can change your life so much that it's almost not worth pissing off every single person. It's almost worth pissing off every single person that you don't know on the way to get that good result. Because we're not talking about, some cash, right? We're not talking about, oh yeah, like, you might get a 4K check here and a 4K check here. We're talking about 5, 6, 7, even £20,000 monthly salaries from companies each. Like what? Let's be real. Like, let's talk real money here. Samson, until he won the Olympia, was getting what, at least 10K a month from Hostel. Probably another 10K a month from Freedom.
And then you got
Now,
a new contract after you won.
huh?
And then you got a new contract straight after you won.
And you already know that's not going to be, oh yeah, it's just double. Come
If
on.
you go if you go back one step further, I know people also get new contracts if they qualify for Olympia.
Just qualifying. And then I also know that certain people, with the contracts they have, one bad placing, money goes down. So now let's be realistic. Would you rather piss off one person or not piss off that one person and then potentially lose? Do you know who Russell Orhe is?
Who, sorry?
Russell Orhe,
I don't know, sorry.
a power lifter. Either way,
Okay,
right?
okay.
One of the best power lifters in the world, American dude, lives in Texas. He was even saying, I don't talk to no one in the gym because if I lose and I was talking to someone in the gym, my thought's gonna go back because I'm gonna be like, all right, so I was on my diet, I was on my training, but I spoke to that one guy for 20 minutes in the middle of my session. That's the reason why I lost. And everyone's gonna think like that, right? So imagine now, imagine you get a contract, or imagine you don't get a contract, and you find out some years later, oh yeah, they were willing to give you 20K, but then you got third. And then they just said, you know what, we ain't even gonna sign you no more. He's washed. You're gonna be like, what happened during that prep? Oh, I knew I should have just not engaged with that one person. And even if it has nothing to do with that one person, it's gonna play in your mind, bro. Because too much money to talk about. This is life-changing money we're talking about for people that aren't going to change your life individually, at least. Let's be real. Would you rather piss off 10 people to impact 1 million people? Fuck yes, everyone would.
It's a good way it's a good way to look at it, and also a realistic way. It's a way because in the end, this is your job. You're a professional, hence why I feel
Bro,
pro.
you don't walk into Apple and then go, I really want to be a CEO. Bro, where's Steve Jobs? Let me go chat to him real quick. Whoever's running it now. You know what I mean? Like, come on. No one does that, right? And it's exactly the same thing. You're not going into these, like, I can't walk into Tesla or into SpaceX and be like, where's Elon? I need some advice. I want to be where he is one day. The only way you're getting advice from Elon is if you work just as hard and get to them and so happen to get those same situations, and then you maybe get into the same room as him. And like I said, my DMs are open. I'm open to conversation after and before my workout. And my DMs are open. There's so many, like, I am not an uncontactable person. If you want to contact me, it's not hard. It is not hard. And these are things that you can realistically get off of anyone online. You can even go search online. What does Yemi eat? And you'll find it. There are full day of eatings on my page from when I was even in the same position as some of these people.
Let's leave it as that, guys. Just DM him. Just DM.
It's that easy.
Yemi, we're gonna leave
Don't
it
call
there
me a
because
nigga. I got
we're
someone
gonna
calling
leave
me a
it
nigga
there
for
because we're
this.
gonna catch up after the Germany show. Because, like I
Oh,
said, you
definitely.
are gonna be one of the favourites to take the title. And look, I'm looking forward to see how this plays out. Not just with you and the UK lads, but also the other Olympians coming on. Because right now it is quiet. We don't know the full lineup, but of
I
course,
have a
as we get
clue. I have a
closer,
clue. I have a clue.
you have a clue. There we go. You already dropped one of the names earlier. Yemi, thank you for your time.